Jai Om Vishnupat Paramams Parivrajakacharya Ashtotar Shat Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Granth-raj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, entitled The Advent of Lord Krishna. Text number 10. Vraje vasan kim akaron madhupuryam cha keshavaha Bhrataram chavadhit kamsam Matur adhatadarhanam Vraje vasan kimakaron Madhupuryam cha keshavaha Bhrataram chavadhit kamsam Matur adhatadarhanam Vraje vasan kimakaron Madhupuryam cha keshavaha Bhrataram chavadhit kamsam Matur adhatadarhanam Mataji's Raje vasan ki makaron Madhupuryam cha keshava Adharam chavadhit kamsa Maturadhatadharhanam Raje vasan ki makaron Madhupuryam cha keshavaha Bhrataram chavadhit kamsam Maturadhatadarhanam Vraje at Vrindavan Vasan while residing Kim akarot what did he do Madhupuryam in Mathura Cha and Keshava Krishna the killer of Keshi Bhrataram the brother Cha and Avadhit killed Kamsam Kamsa Matu of his mother Adha directly Atat arhanam which was not at all sanctioned by the Shastras. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Lord Krishna lived both in Vrindavan and in Mathura. What did he do there? Why did he kill Kamsa, his mother's brother? Such killing is not at all sanctioned in the Shastras. Purport. One's maternal uncle, the brother of one's mother, is on the level of one's father. When a maternal uncle has no son, his nephew legally inherits his property. Therefore, why did Krishna kill Kamsa, directly kill Kamsa, the brother of his mother? Maharaj Parikshit was very much inquisitive about the facts in this regard. That's the end of purport. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, the Summum Bonum, because we had to hear about Krishna directly. These pastimes of 10th canto were written or spoken, and to come to this level, first of all, we were prepared by hearing the first 9 cantos. So slowly, step by step, our consciousness was supposed to raise to a level at which we can directly hear about Krishna's pastimes, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swam Bhagavan Krishna. So his pastimes are not normal or ordinary, although sometimes they seem like that. And that's why even the great demigods like Brahma and Lord Shiva, even they are bewildered. Muyanti yat suraya. In first verse of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, it is written that even demigods are bewildered by the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So demigods are very powerful personalities, and most of the time they are not pure devotees. They are devotees but not pure devotees. They have some desire to control. But because they are great personalities, they are given very important roles of universal management. So Krishna's pastimes are not easily understood. So what is needed to understand Krishna's pastimes? Is academic education required? If that is the case, then the university students and professors would very easily understand Krishna's pastimes. But actually we see that's the opposite case. The current contemporary students and professors would find it more difficult to understand. Why? Because Bhaktivedanta Thakur says that this material education actually makes you, in one way, work very hard in this world. And then, in one song it is written that a man becomes like a donkey and he carries the burden of this life. So donkey, Prabhupada used to say, is celebrated as the most foolish animal because he works very hard for the master. Why? Because he expects some grass. So why donkey is foolish? Because grass is available everywhere. So that's how a materialist works very hard for material goals, which are very easily available actually. For what do we need actually for material sustenance? 3 things are needed. Usually we hear that 3 things are needed for material sustenance. What are those 3 things? English translation, please. Huh? Food, shelter and clothing. So out of these 3, what is most required? food, clothing, even if you have a couple of pairs of clothes, you can do with it. And shelter, bare minimum, some shelter is required. But even if you don't have much of those two things, food is definitely required. And food can be available very easily. Sarva kam dugha mahi. Just if you have some land, you can grow everything there. Grains, fruits, vegetables, everything. Sugarcane. And, if you have some cow, then you can have some grass on that land for cow to have that grass. And Prabhupada said, your all economic problems can be solved just by these two things, some land and some cows. So actually, you don't need to work very hard to maintain your material body, your and your families. So that's why in traditional agrarian society, when the seasons were also working very nicely, the farmer would not work year around. He would work few months and have plenty of grain and other things, and then he would relax. And basically it was God-centered life. They would do so many spiritual activities. And if you read these pastimes in the Shastras, even Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is not that old, only a couple of centuries old. So there you would see when Madhavendra Puri, he installed Gopal deity on Govardhan. So all the villagers from nearby villages would come, and they were giving so much grain and milk and everything. And there was abundance of everything. They were not poor farmers. They had abundance of basic necessities. They had abundance. They had so much that they could donate so much for a new deity. So in this artificial society that we live in, this modern urban world, so we are forgetting these things. So Krishna, when he comes, he acts just like a cowherd boy in the village of Vrindavan. So in today's verse it says, Vraje Vasan Kim Akaron Madhupuryam. So first Krishna appears, actually appears as the story goes, in Mathura, in the prison of Kamsa. And then, I think in the last verse, why did Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this is text 9, leave the house of his father Vasudeva and transfer himself to the house of Nanda in Vrindavan? So he's born there in Mathura, which is currently, that area is called Krishna Janma Bhumi. There is a temple there. And then from there, from that prison house, he's transferred to Vrindavan. But more precisely, he's transferred to Gokul Mahavan, that area. So in Vrindavan there are, in Braj area, there are 12 forests. Vrindavan is one of them. Just in a usually we refer to the whole area as Vrindavan roughly, but more precisely, Vrindavan is a separate forest, Mahavan is a separate forest. So Krishna was transferred from Mathura to Gokul Mahavan. And I've been to these, some part of Parikrama with ISKCON, Vrindavan buses, during Kartik and even during Gaur Purnima, they do these trips. So I've been to a couple of them. So they were describing that first, wherever Krishna was, Radharani's parents would also be there nearby. So when Krishna is there in Gokul Mahavan, at that time, Radharani appeared and Vishwanu Maharaj was in a village called Raval. So that's in that area, Mahavan area. And then we read in Krishna book and further in 10th canto that because there were demons coming to this area, so the elders, they had a meeting that so many demons are coming, they would harm Krishna. So let's move from here. So then they moved to Vrindavan. And at that time, Radharani's parents also moved to Barsana. So then there is Govardhan, Vrindavan, Barsana, that area. And then later, Krishna moved to Nandagram. Nandagaon is that hill there. And then Radharani was married and she was in the place called Javat. So that's how Krishna moves. And then after that, he moves to Mathura. Here it says, Lord Krishna lived both in Vrindavan and Mathura. What did he do there? So this is the question that Parikshit Maharaj is asking, and we should be asking this also. We should be interested in Krishna's pastimes. Janma karma. Why? Because they are divyam. Janma karma chame divyam. They are not ordinary. Demigods are bewildered because these pastimes look ordinary. But sometimes, or actually not sometimes, every day, he would do some miraculous activities which an ordinary child cannot do. But Krishna does these miraculous activities in the form of a child, or in a childish way, or childlike way. Like when Trinavarta came. So what was the desire of Krishna? Krishna wanted to go up in the air. You know, sometimes parents, there is a small child, they throw the child up in the air and the child enjoys. So Krishna wanted that. But because he is God, he wanted to do in a big way. He wanted to go up to the atmosphere, like high up, not just few feet up. So Trinavarta took him, and then Krishna enjoyed like that. But then he had to kill the demon, so he became very heavy. And then Trinavarta came down and he died. So Krishna does these activities in that form of a child, and that's why even demigods are bewildered. But for us devotees, we have to understand the transcendental nature of these pastimes. So that is the knowledge that we are gaining. And that can be had not by academic scholarship, but by submissive hearing from devotees, especially advanced devotees. So this is the only way to understand the transcendental nature of Krishna's pastimes, to hear from pure devotees. Pure devotees means, it doesn't mean someone has been in movement for long time, or of course they can be pure also. But even a new devotee can be pure if he is sincere. The example is given of green mango and a ripe mango. Mango is a mango. If the fruit stays on the tree, on the branch of the tree, if it stays connected, one day it will become ripe. So in the same way, in one sense you can say, if there is a devotee in ISKCON and he or she is connected to ISKCON. Connected to ISKCON means connecting to Guru Parampara through hearing, and connected to temple authorities by cooperating with them. These are the two ways. Actually, long time back, more than a decade back, I remember reading GBC released a paper. It was called the two lines of authority within ISKCON. What are the two lines? One is the Guru. From the Guru, devotees are inspired by Shiksha Gurus, Diksha Guru. They take initiation and they take philosophical guidance. And then second line of authority is the temple management. Temple management, the managers, temple president and so on, they are managing the temple. So that's also a line of authority. And these two lines of authority are not different. Just like, you know, on a rail track, there are two lines. They don't go separately. Train goes on the both lines. If the two lines are not parallel, then train will not go anywhere. So sometimes we think that these two lines are very different. But anyway, so staying connected to the ISKCON tree or ISKCON branch, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada says, in the 10th chapter of Adi Leela, which says the tree, where the title of that chapter is the tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a tree of, desired tree of spiritual world. So there in one purport Prabhupada writes, ISKCON is one of the branch of Chaitanya tree. So to stay connected to ISKCON means to stay perfectly connected to these two lines of authority, which means, slowly plan in a way so to get initiated. Recently Prabhu got initiated and his whole family. So it takes time and effort. There are so many steps to follow. Here you have to do what Founder-Acharya course, Leelamrita test, ISKCON disciple course, that's worldwide, initiation test. So like that. So to follow or to connect to that line of authority, we have to go through that. And then within the temple, we follow the temple management and we get involved in different services. You may be doing one service in one department, or you may be doing many services in many departments. We know devotees like Braja, Raj Prabhu, he is in many departments. He doesn't care which service, low or high, putting this phone for recording or offering bhoga to deities, doesn't matter. Basically, we have to help in services within the temple. We should at least have some rostered service. Initially, when I'm looking after the prasad distribution roster, so sometimes we approach people to request, would you like to do some service? Would you like to do a service every week, one service every week? So initially people say, we will do service whenever we come. That is also good. But then next level is commitment. That yes, I commit to one service a week or more, like that. So that's next level. So like that we should help in temple services also, somehow or the other. The least level is below. So first level I explained is, you come to temple, someone asks for some service, we can do. Next level is you commit to a regular service. But even below that first level is, don't hinder the services. That comes first. There are so many services happening, let them happen. Don't come in the way. That's also a good service. Don't come in the way of others' services. So anyway, so somehow or the other, if we connect to these two lines of authorities within ISKCON, then slowly we can understand Krishna's pastimes. Otherwise, what is the way? You can do a PhD from Melbourne University and still not understand Krishna. So, because Krishna's pastimes are very secret, Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam. So that's why Parikshit Maharaj is asking, what did he do? He went from Vrindavan to Mathura. What did he do? And then he's asking this question, that why did he kill Kamsa, his mother's brother? So then Prabhupada mentions that mother's brother or an uncle is considered on the same level as one's father. And in Shastra it is said, if a father or guru asks you to do something, you say Badham iti, means yes sir. It's written like that in one translation of Bhagavatam. When some order comes from a guru or father, you say yes sir. You don't ask why this, why that. You just do it. So Kamsa is supposed to be on that level of guru or father, but Krishna killed him. Why is that? So Parikshit Maharaj, on behalf of ignorant people, he's asking like that. Parikshit Maharaj is fully realized, but he knows because Krishna's pastimes are bewildering, so people may misunderstand. So on behalf of these ignorant people, so that there is no confusion in future, Parikshit Maharaj is asking this question. Why did he kill Kamsa? So people may feel very strange. Krishna killed his uncle, and then Prahlad's pastime is there. His father was killed in the presence of the son, and Prahlad Maharaj put a garland on the killer of his father. So people feel, oh, this is so strange. And then in Bhagavad Gita, which we call ABCs, devotees are distributing so many Bhagavad Gitas in marathon every day. And then in there you see, if you read first chapter and you see Krishna is asking Arjuna to kill his relatives, even his gurus and uncles. So Arjuna is also doing that. Krishna doesn't himself kill his uncle, he inspires others to do it also. So people think, what is this? Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, you're killing your uncles and you're glorifying your father's killer. So they feel this is very strange. These are strange books. So that's where the expertise of devotees come in. When people misunderstand these pastimes, we explain them the story or the context behind these killings. So because Parikshit Maharaj is asking, why did Krishna kill Kamsa? So now Shukdev Goswami will explain the pastimes. How did it happen? The whole storyline. And then when you hear the whole story, you understand that yes, this is how things happen. It's not just whimsical killing. These days we have a lot of spoiled children everywhere in the world, but we see here news, so many teenagers, they are misdirected, not trained properly. You know, teenagers and kids, they have a lot of energy. So if they are not directed, they do things which are not very good. So there are robberies and shoplifting and, you know, attacks. So these kids have a lot of energy, what to do? So that's what they are doing. And the judicial system is such that they get bail very easily. So in parliament, they are discussing in Australian parliament what to do. You know, if you release them, they do the same thing again. But then one party is saying, you know, you can't have very strict laws for these teenagers or younger people. So if they are misdirected, the energy goes in a wrong direction. So the correct direction is Krishna consciousness. And by understanding Krishna's pastimes, we can understand everything. So in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in the 2nd verse, it says, Yoga Nashta. So this original knowledge of Veda is actually eternal. At no point it was created. Because Krishna is Shad Aishwarya Purna. What are the 6 things that Krishna has in unlimited quantities? Beauty, strength, wealth, knowledge, fame, and renunciation. So these 6 things Krishna has unlimitedly, and always he has had that. Which means knowledge aspect was there since Krishna is there. Veda means knowledge. So Veda, the body of Veda doesn't appear at a particular point in material timeline. It is always there because Krishna is always there. But what happens is that knowledge slowly gets, Krishna says, nashta or destroyed or spoiled. What does that mean? So in Jiva Goswami's Tattva Sandarbha, it's explained why and how it happens. So in different ages or different kalpas, different days of Brahma, it may happen in a different way. But one story is given, which Jiva Goswami mentions. So he mentions that how in different ages, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, the knowledge aspect goes down. Vedas are always there. They don't disappear. But we'll see what happens. So in Skanda Puran, we read Lord Narayana generated the original knowledge in this world. It stays intact through the Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga. In Satya Yuga, knowledge was intact. Then, in Treta Yuga, it became somewhat corrupted. We hear that the bull of Dharma has 4 legs, and then in Satya Yuga, all the 4 legs are intact. Then in Treta Yuga, 1 leg is broken, like that. In Kali Yuga, somehow the bull is there on 1 leg only. So in Treta Yuga, knowledge becomes somewhat corrupted, and in Dwapar Yuga, altogether so. When knowledge had thus gradually turned into ignorance because of Gautam Rishi's curse. So this is the story given. What happened? The Gautam Rishi had a benediction that his fields would always produce abundant rice. So then, in neighboring areas, there was a drought and food shortage. So many Brahmanas came to Gautama Muni because there was a lot of rice. So then they wanted to go. The drought eventually ended and the Brahmanas wanted to return to their villages. But Gautama did not want them, he did not give them permission to go. So now Brahmana said, drought has finished in our villages, let us go. He said, no, I don't allow you to go. You come by your choice and you go by my choice. So then Brahmanas wanted to go. So what they did, they created a illusory cow. And when Gautama Muni touched that cow, the cow died. That was a false cow. And the Brahmana said, oh, you have killed a cow. Oh, this is a sinful place. We have to go now. Because they wanted to go. Gautama Muni was not letting them go. So they did this trick. They created a cow and got that cow killed somehow by the touch of Gautama Muni. So they left, and then Gautama Muni was doing atonement process. And then he realized what the Brahmanas did. He got very angry and upset. So he cursed them that your knowledge will dwindle. So that's what happened, that the eternal Vedas never actually suffer corruption, but the Brahmana class, they lose their knowledge because of some reason. In this case, because of the curse of Gautama Rishi. So in Jiva Goswami explains this. So this is how it happens. Knowledge is always there, but those who are the teachers of knowledge, they get corrupted. So as devotees, we have to understand that there is a tendency that we can also get corrupted. It may happen every day for a sadhaka who is following Vedi sadhana. One day we are very inspired. One day we are totally discouraged because of effect of Maya. So we have to keep ourselves in good association so that knowledge never gets covered. For a pure devotee, he is on a different level. For him, he is above the cloud of Maya. He can always see the sun. But for a beginner devotee, sometimes we are up, most of the time we are below the cloud of Maya. So Maya itself is Krishna's servant, so we don't have to fear Maya in that sense. If we cooperate with the instructions of Krishna, then we are always out of Maya. One very beautiful example is given by Prabhupada, that there is criminal department or police and the prison system everywhere in the world. But a good citizen never has to be afraid. If he sees a policeman, a good citizen is never afraid. He is happy to see a policeman, that, oh, these people are maintaining law and order in the society. But a criminal is very afraid. So in the same way, if we don't break the laws of Shastra, we don't have to be afraid of Maya. So good citizen is never afraid of police. Criminal is afraid. So that's a very simple and very profound example. And this can inspire us to always follow Shastra. The knowledge that is in the Shastra slowly gets corrupted, and the detail is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita, how it is corrupted. What are the perverted forms of knowledge? perverted forms of knowledge is materialistic knowledge and knowledge of impersonal Brahman. So there is so much knowledge in the schools, universities, and libraries are full with books. So we may, if we think that, oh, there is some sort of good knowledge there, then that's corruption of knowledge. Because if that knowledge is not linked to Krishna, there is no use. It's like collecting so many zeros without the one. So that's one part of perverted knowledge, materialistic knowledge. And the other part is also very dangerous, the impersonalism. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, a very nice shlok, Mahaprabhu himself says, Mayavadi bhashya shunile hoy sarvanas, jivera vistar lagi sutra kaila vyas. For deliverance of all the living entities, especially humans, Vyasadeva wrote Vedanta. But Mayavadi bhashya shunile hoy sarvanas. If you hear the Shankaracharya's Mayavadi commentary on Vedanta Sutra, then you will be destroyed fully. Mayavadi bhashya. But there are devotees who have also commented on Vedanta Sutra, and Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is also a commentary on Vedanta Sutra by the author of Vedanta Sutra himself. Vyasadeva himself commented or wrote Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is the ultimate knowledge which we need to gain to understand Krishna. So in association of devotees, when we hear Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, we'll be saved from this perverted knowledge of materialism and impersonalism. So these are the two dangers. We have to be very secure. But the current leaders of the society, scientists, government leaders, professors, philosophers, they actually promote a sort of narrative that and normalize these two perverted forms of knowledge. They normalize it, that this is the normal system to get knowledge. But here, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is promoting the real knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, knowledge which is connected to Krishna. And this knowledge is devoid of any sort of cheating. In the beginning it says, Dharma projita kaitava. So there is no sugar coating here, in one sense. Everything is real. People are only interested in sense gratification out of those 4 goals of human life. Sense gratification, economic development, the dharma or religion, and liberation. The 4 goals. But mainly people are interested in sense gratification. Although it's very difficult to get sense gratification, still they are very much inclined towards it because of the curtain of Maya. Another example I was hearing, that the bees, in order to have honey, first they collect, they go to different flowers, they suck the juice and they collect it in the beehive, and then they want to also taste the honey, the final product. So and there are so many bees crowded inside the beehive, and they bite each other. So the example Prabhupada gives is, in the same way, in material world, everyone is trying for sense gratification, and you are bitten by all the people around you, your family members, your society members, your community members, your own people of your same country or other countries. There's always war, especially in Kali Yuga. Kalaha means quarrel. This is the age of quarrel. So these bites are, these pinpricks are there more and more in this age. But still, because of the curtain of Maya, people are so determined to get this sense gratification by these various endeavors. But then what happens if they have good fortune? There is one word in Sanskrit, by the will or the sweet will or by chance. The word is yadrichya. Yadrichya in Sanskrit, it's translated as by chance. Someone may meet a devotee. You may decide to go to the city and stop people and distribute them books because it's Srila Prabhupada's book marathon month. So the word is by chance that person meets a devotee. Yadrichya means by chance, but it's not, the meaning of by chance is not as materialists use, that by chance this universe came. There was a big bang and by chance life appeared and it evolved. So here in Shastra, when it's written yadrichya, by chance, that's not exactly like that. It's by the sweet will of a devotee and sweet will of Krishna. Krishna wants deliverance of fallen souls, and devotees also want that. They take mission of Krishna in their hands. So this sweet will or by chance is doing favor to everyone. So that's how people come in touch with Krishna, and slowly this influence of Maya will go away and they will understand Krishna's pastimes and they will be established in their constitutional position as servant of Krishna. So I would like to end there and see if you have any questions or comments on what we discussed. Is there a mic, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Bhakti Sabro.
Hare Krishna.
You use the word Krishna consciousness many times. So would you like to explain what is Krishna consciousness, please?
Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Always thinking of Krishna is Krishna consciousness. But in 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita it is explained, thinking of Krishna, that's the conclusion in Bhagavad Gita, and Mahaprabhu's mood of chanting Hare Krishna, congregational chanting, is the same. So when we chant Hare Krishna, we will automatically think about Krishna. So constantly chanting Krishna's name is Krishna consciousness, especially in Kali Yuga. To be more precise, in Kali Yuga, Krishna consciousness means always chanting Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
You want to ask? Lady will ask.
Okay. Is there? No. Okay, thank you very much. Granth-raj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada Book Distribution Marathon ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taksham Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Nandar Agom Higamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Dipan Dikayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnava रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सगन ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,